Mixtape here on KSQ 89.5 FM Ashland, 94.1 FM Medford, on kskqdjramo. It's the boy, it's the dog, DJ Ramo. It is time. It is fucking time. We are honored and humbled to have fucking one of the most badass singers in metal today. She is electrifying. She destroys every path that she's on. HEIDI fucking Shepherd from Butcher Babies. How are you?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That was the best intro I've ever had. Yeah. I think, when I wake up in the morning, here she is, getting out of bed.
Maybe I'll go like on Shark Tank and start my own alarm clocks. Like I'll just personalize messages to people.
Oh my gosh, like everyone needs that positivity in their life. Amazing. I'm doing so good. Thank you so much. I've been beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, so I cannot complain.
Oh, no, absolutely. So HEIDI, you've done so many amazing things in your life, so many amazing shows, and you know, we're gonna dive into Beaver Cage, we're gonna dive into all the new things in the works. But one of the things we like to do on the Metal Mixtape is that we like to get inspired. And the way we get inspired is that we like to listen to how people grew up, how their upbringing was, the trials and tribulations that you might have gone through. I want to know, HEIDI, like, I see the badass. I see, but I know it took something. It's a certain something to be the badass, right? Where, like, growing up, like, did you have musicians around the house? Did somebody give you like a first Metallica record? Like when was that turning point when you were younger, where you thought of yourself as possibly like, man, maybe I could be a musician?
Well, I grew up in a family of musicians, so that helped. My dad is the middle of 12 kids. I grew up in Utah, so everyone has a million children. And my dad had a band with his brothers. So every time the family got together, whether it was a reunion, a wedding, a funeral, a birthday, didn't matter. They were always playing music together. So that was a huge thing. In my living room growing up, there was a electronic drum kit, there's guitars, there's everything's laid out for everyone to learn and have fun with. However, I was not allowed to listen to heavy metal at all. In fact, my mom found a Korn CD in my closet and broke it in half in front of my face and said, I will not have this in my house. I think that the turning point for me was actually when my family would get together and I wanted to get up and sing with my grandpa, and everyone said, no, your cousin Summer, she's the singer, because she used to sing for Disney, so she was like the singer of the family. And I was like, what? I want to be a singer. And so I just worked really hard. I took vocal lessons, I was in choirs, I did everything classically that I needed to do. Who knew that, all these years later I'd be screaming for a living? I do get to use my classical training, here and there, but this is where my passion lies, and my parents are huge fans of it now. So I'm glad that I could help them, see the light and love in heavy metal.
That is so awesome. So HEIDI, was there like a big show where you thought like, you know what, I think the dream came true? Like, was there like a first big band that you opened for, a big first tour where you were just like, holy shit, HEIDI, we made it?
This is awesome that you say that. I'm actually wearing the shirt from that tour right now. It was opening up for Marilyn Manson. It was just the two of us on tour, and I remember the exact situation. We were in Edmonton, Canada, and I'm on stage, and we are singing a song, an old song of ours called National Bloody Anthem, and it just chants, there's blood everywhere. And I look out, and I see almost everyone in the crowd with their fists in the air, screaming that back at us. And I turned around and looked at my bandmates like, holy crap, we made it.
Yes.
And so I got done with, the show, and, Manson played, and everything was cleared out, and I went and sat down in the theater, and I was just like, wow, I will never forget this moment, and I haven't, and that was 10 years ago. So it's been a wild ride since then, for sure.
That is so freaking awesome. That gives me the goosies just listening to it.
I love the goosies. That's amazing.
No, that is so great. I love hearing that because everybody has a different upbringing, and a lot of times people just think that like, oh, they're shoo-in musicians or like industry plants and all this shit, and people don't really know that like I swear I've done 400 interviews and everybody had an upbringing, a sort of hurdle, So you being in Butcher Babies, the fame is hitting, everything is hitting. Was there a lesson you had to learn on tour? Maybe with your voice or something that you had to acclimate, that maybe a hurdle you had to deal with?
Well, I definitely know that partying is kept to a minimum. I don't drink certain alcohol on the road because it hurts my screaming. It's like red wine. I can't drink red wine because it dries out the back of my throat. I can't drink whiskey because of the same thing. And it's different per person. Uh-huh. So some people, that's all they can drink. Like they could never drink tequila, but I can drink tequila. So it's just per person, and you have to kind of just see what your body can handle. And we're announcing a tour actually tomorrow, and I've just decided I'm going to go through that whole tour sober. Just gonna go. I'm not gonna drink anything. That's been a hurdle. Something like that. I've tried to do sober tours where I just don't drink anything, and I'm like, I can't do it. I love a good Jaeger shot when I get off the stage. So this summer's gonna be real interesting. I'm gonna try.
No, that's super. You know what? I guarantee your fans would appreciate it.
Well, luckily, I know how to preserve my voice, and it's sleep. Sleep. That's the number one thing for me. That's the only way I can rest my instrument. I can't take it out and put it in a case and put it in the trailer. It doesn't work that way. So instead, I get the luxury of, sleeping all day.
You know what? That's great advice. And honestly, that's the best. I mean, every professional athlete or anybody professional always says that sleep is one of the most important things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that recovery. Whether you're working out your basketball playing muscles or your screaming muscles, all the same.
That is awesome. So I absolutely love what you and Carla do with Butcher Babies. What are the challenges with having two singers, and what is the songwriting process like when you have two different vocals and two different sounds and two different attitudes? Because even watching all your videos and everything, you guys really keep it 50-50. You know what I mean? But you guys, it looks like you guys have fun complimenting each other. Tell me some of the benefits and maybe some of the challenges.
Well, we definitely do have fun complimenting each other. It's true. I don't think that we would have made it this long had we not. I mean, she's been my best friend for over 15 years. We were in a band together prior to this. And so starting this band together, I think it was really built out of friendship and respect. And we still have that to this day. Whether we're talking about things about boys or the gym or hair color. She's my sister in it all. And then when we get on stage, it's like having fun with your best friend and living your dream with your best friend. And it is the most incredible feeling in the world when I get up and do that with my band. Every single member is a best friend. And so it's so much fun. Now, having two lead vocalists, I think the hardest part about that, and I'm going to be honest, the hardest part is band photos. The hardest thing, because I'll like the way I look in a photo and she won't like the way she looks in a photo. And not only that, but there's only so many ways that you can pose or highlight both singers, So I think that's the hardest part. When it comes to writing the music or performing the music, we kind of write with the idea of having the dual vocals in mind. So we know each other's sweet spots, and so it's like, okay, this part is written for Carla, this part is written for me. This harmony here, we know that Heidi's going to sing the higher one, and Carla's voice sounds like butter right there in the lower register. So it's all these years of doing this together, we've learned these things, and it's really easy. Some people think we might fight to the death, but that's only about who gets which bunk.
No, that is so cool to hear. That's awesome. Like, you know, and I feel like when people hear this, like they're just gonna like love your band that much more because you know there's always all these questions behind the scene that I feel like sometimes don't get answered, and I think that's really great to hear.
Yeah, you know, and I actually read a comment the other day, which I try not to read comments very often, but this one kind of flipped through the cracks, and it said, "I wish they were really best friends."
What the
And
fuck?
released a song called Best Friend, you know, the cover of Sweetie and Doja Cat's song. And I took huge offense to that. I was like, how dare he? And your band sucks. I'm like, I don't care if you don't like my band, but how dare you say that this is a fabricated friendship? So the reality is we really are best friends, and I'm so grateful for that friendship.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions before we get into the new single. So being on tour, playing all these shows, you already told me a little bit about you touring with Marilyn Manson. Who is somebody you looked up to that you got to play maybe a big festival and everything? And when you went to meet them, they were really nice to you, and and afterwards you were just kind of like in awe. Was there somebody you've met like that in your music career?
Yeah. We did a tour with Megadeth, and Dave Mustaine treated us with the utmost respect. He was so cool. He came in at the very beginning of tour. This was in 2016. He came in and he had a couple bottles. He had like a bottle of vodka and a bottle of wine, and he's just like, "Welcome to the tour. We're so glad you're here. Here's some spirits, and then here's a signed, you know, Megadeth poster." And that is unheard of. And I learned from that. I want to be that kind of musician when I'm headlining. I want the other bands to feel as welcomed as he made me feel. And then he would stand side stage and he would watch us often. And he even granted us 5 more minutes of stage time at one point. You know, so
what a king.
Yeah, what a king. Exactly. I was so blown away and so shocked about how incredibly sweet he was to us. So it's but that's honestly not a standalone story. I would say every single band that we've ever toured with except for one has been absolutely amazing. Everyone's been sweet, everyone's been cool. I love the camaraderie that there is in this industry.
That is so freaking awesome. No, and I totally agree. You know, like I was a small radio guy, and it was just everybody gave me a chance, and like I've interviewed 400 people. Everybody's been great. So I totally agree with you with that.
Good. I'm glad no one's been an a-hole to you.
I've had a couple, but I'm not gonna name them. I've had an interview where somebody's been like, "You got 5 minutes, go," and I've been like, I like you.
It's like, okay, well, how's the new album? See you later.
So your music, I love your music. It's brutal, but it's also super heavy but it's also super fun. And listening to you for a long time, I listened to like almost all your music last night. It's like you and Carla both have really diverse vocals, but you also know how to carry your attitude, your confidence, your pizzazz, your sassiness. You know, you guys really do complement each other live, and the way you do your shows. Like with like Beaver Cage coming out, that video was absolutely awesome. The tour bus, extremely groovy and dancing. Like, you girls must have the most fun time doing this.
We do, and I think that that's the most important thing. I love that metal is fun. It's supposed to be fun. I can't think of a more fun thing than a mosh pit. Like, I love mosh pits. I think it is so much fun. But, you know, when I'm on stage, I'm just up there having the best time of my life. When I'm in the vocal booth, of course, sometimes it's like frustrating, trying to hit notes, and get my voice fatigued, blah, blah, blah. But it should be fun. That's why we do this. And we are out there living our dreams. We want to have fun with it. You know, someone said earlier today, like, that you make happy metal. I'm like, oh, I like that a lot. Happy metal? Hell yeah. I want people to have a smile on their face while they watch a show or while they listen to an album. I want people to feel elevated from it. And of course, we have some dark stuff too, but there's a place and time for both of those.
Absolutely, no, and I think you guys balance it so well, and you guys are just on fire right now, and so it's crazy. So you've been in Butcher Babies 10 years now, right?
15.
15. So with everything you guys release, like, what's the mindset? Are you guys trying to, like, you have a chip on your shoulder? You trying to prove that you can do other styles? Like what has changed in your mindset as far as writing back then to how it is now?
Well, I think back then I felt like I had something to prove.
Okay.
I think it was, especially when we first started, there were not very many females in this industry. I mean, there were some, but not like it is today. Going out there and you feel like you have to prove yourself tenfold. It's just like a double-edged sword. Some people look at the females in the metal scene, especially back when we first started. They're like, oh, these are groupies that are trying to get with the bands and stuff. Like, it was just like weird comments like that. We had to prove, like, no, we really do love this music. Like, people just didn't even believe that we could even be like listen to.
Oh, you mean those dirty elitists?
Yeah, the dirty elitists. But and then they went away. They'll always hold a place, and it's fine because it made me work my ass off. But at the same time, I really felt like I had something to prove back in the day. Now, as things have evolved 15 years later, I've definitely grown up quite a bit. I'm turning 38 here soon, and I started this band when I was barely 20-something years old. So, for me, you've all kind of seen me go through growing pains, and you hear it in music too. I think what we're doing now is just more liberating. We don't have anybody telling us what we need to sound like. We don't have anybody pushing us in any directions. It's all about what we feel like we want to do. Because in the beginning, that's why it worked. It's because we did what we wanted to do, and we didn't let people tell us what we should sound like, what we should feel like, blah, 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 blah. And we're doing that with this new album. And so you hear that in Beaver Cage. You see that in the music video. It's just banana sauce. Like, that music video was filmed in 45 minutes.
Yes.
It was just like, everyone get on the bus and do stupid shit, and everyone did.
Yeah.
And it was, I was so proud of everyone who came to be in this video. We put out a call. We just said, put it on social media. Hey, if you're a Butcher Babies fan, even if you're not, but if you want to be in a music video, we're doing 2 music videos this day. Come hang out. And people showed up, and it was such an awesome experience. I will say this. I think Beaver Cage is my favorite music video we've ever released, and one of my favorite songs we've ever released because it's so fun.
That is so awesome. Do you guys have any plans on when you're thinking of maybe releasing this album? You did say you're announcing a tour tomorrow.
Yeah, this summer. The album will come out this summer. Yeah, the announcement for the album should be in about a month.
I cannot wait, and it's awesome. So I don't want to take away from the other journalists. So can I ask you 3 fun questions before we end the interview?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. All right, in a zombie apocalypse, if you only have one weapon to destroy the zombie horde that isn't the cure or the nuke, how are you killing the zombies?
I mean, have you seen Grindhouse?
I might have.
I need a leg machine gun. A machine gun for a leg. That's what I'll have.
Oh, yes. No, I have seen that. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. That's what that is. Yep. That, and then I'd probably just try to really kill him with kindness. I'm just kidding.
All right. If you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to kill you, and how would they do it?
Oh, that's a good one. It'd probably have to be Carla. And we would just be fighting over vocal parts, and it would have to be like the most gory thing that anyone's ever seen. It's got to be like she'd probably have to rip my throat out, and then like cut a hole in my stomach and pull my guts, and then probably strangle me with them. That's what I'm thinking it's gotta be. It's gotta be something like that.
Oh God, that's freaking awesome. What's the best band you've ever seen live that isn't Butcher Babies?
Oh, there's so many amazing bands out there. I will say, the first time I saw Slipknot was like a life-changing experience. This was years and years and years and years ago. Just running around the stage, like 9 people losing their minds. Amazing. Rammstein is always just one of the best experiences. Man, that is a really tough question.
I like asking tough questions.
Yeah.
But that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So Heidi, last but not least, can you say this is Heidi Shepard from Butcher Babies and you're listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this is Heidi Shepard from Butcher Babies, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape.
I appreciate you so much. This will go on YouTube tonight and then be aired on FM on Thursday.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you too, and I hope to catch you on the show. Everybody, check out the new song, Beaver Cage. Heidi Shepard, you have been one of my favorite interviews this year. Thank you so much for being so nice and kind. I hope you have a beautiful day.
Oh, thank you, you too. Congratulations on the new news.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.